Today we have a very special video. As you can tell, we're going to do the mid-year freakout tag, but I also wanted to introduce you to Mambo! It's a Mambo! Yay, it's a Mambo! It's my new baby girl. Hi. You want to say anything to everybody? Look how pretty we are? Yes. Beep beep. So Mambo will likely be in, you want to go up here? Where do you want to be? Mambo will likely be in like every video from here on out for a good while because she loves to be with peoples. So I wanted to introduce you guys to Mambo and my new brooch, as you can see. Where are we going? She likes to hang out right there. My bras are really good for clinging on to, so we're just gonna do that, right? Right? Yay. Okay. So anyway, hi. For those of you who don't know, I love parrots. We had Samwise for a few years before Samwise unfortunately passed away. I love to rescue parrots. I would prefer if a lot of people would stop buying baby parrots and stuff from things like PetSmart or Petco. Because people don't realize they have very long lifespans, for one. Like, she is a sun conure, and so she could probably go, 20, 30 years, possibly, if well taken care of. She's currently probably between 9 and 12. She's been through a couple other owners before me. So she is an adult, but not quite a senior. But there are a lot of senior birds out there who need homes, who need help, who need love and attention. And that's the thing about parrots, is that people don't realize that they need a lot of love and attention, because it is kind of like having a child, but it's a better version than a child, because look at how cute we are. Just look at us. So I am an advocate for rescuing parrots and having them live their lives all happy and good, and also for not continuing to import them. Please stop doing it. They are technically wild birds. They can live on their own, and they're social creatures, and she's super social. She loves people. She's the complete opposite of Samwise. The only things that she has in common with Samwise is about her size, that she's a rescue, and we love to shred paper. That's about, oh, and we love Nutriberries. Those are probably your only real similarities. She's not nearly as loud. Obviously, I can talk while we're filming, and she's only making smaller noises, not like Samwise, who used to screech at everything. Don't get me wrong. I loved Samwise. I loved him a great deal. I still love him. But we have a very different personality of a burb here. Where are we going? Where do you want to be? You want to hold my, what do you want to do? We also like to chew on fingers and do this. It does not hurt. Just FYI, this is a thing that we do. But it's definitely a nice change from usually not having a bird at all, but to have one that is so lovable and just wants to be loved and paid attention to. And I'm happy to do that. So there you go, everybody. There's Mambo! Yay! You're one of the mini goals that I wanted to complete this year, because I wasn't sure it was going to happen, so I made it a mini goal, because it all depended on me moving. So we completed a goal, yeah! Mambo, Mambo, cha cha cha. Enough distraction with the cute bird on my boob. We're gonna talk about some books now, because it is the mid-year freakout tag. It's June. It's time to talk about some books, shall we? Yeah, because we're pretty much halfway through the year, and I have read, as of today, and as of day filming this, it is currently June 15th. I have completed 80 books this year so far. So pretty decent. So let's get into the questions. There are, I had to write them down, 14 questions to the mid-year freakout tag. And let's get started with question number 1. Currently, what is the best book so far this year? And normally this is a very difficult question for me. It is not this year. This year it is Cytonic by Brandon Sanderson. I have finally read Cytonic, and this is the 3rd book in the Skyward series, and it's currently my favorite book in the Skyward series, as well as my current favorite book. I mean, there are some other books that are contenders for best book of the year in total, but right now I still think about this book all of the time, and I just dream about it sometimes. It's just this epic adventure in space with dinosaurs and jungles and space pirates and time travel stuff, and it's so good. And I don't want anyone to start, you know, to sleep on the Skyward series, because I know Brandon Sanderson series, the famous ones are usually Mistborn. We've got Way of Kings. He has this whole Cosmere stuff, and this is not in the Cosmere, but it's amazing, and I need people to stop sleeping on Skyward. I mean, like, I do know it is popular, but I need it to be more popular so more people understand it, so that we get a movie or a TV show and we get to see these characters come to life. Now, I'm happy if they, you know, remain as a book, but I want it to be so popular, right? You would agree. I think you'd agree with me, right? Should I read you this book? I'll read you Cytonic. What do you think of her? Yeah? Okay, cool. So Cytonic, best one so far. Question number 2, the best sequel you've read so far this year. Also, I'm not repeating any books, so Cytonic, you know, is a sequel. It's the 3rd book in the series, so we're going with a different one. We're gonna go with Well Matched by Jen DeLuca. This is the 3rd book in the Well Met Ren Fair Willow Creek love series. I'm not sure what the series title actually is, but this little contemporary series is so fun. I just love it so much, and I didn't think I would love this one as much as I loved the others, because it does have a thing in here that I'm normally not a fan of, and that is an age gap. There's about a 10 years age gap. Where are you trying to go to? What is this? Where are we going? Come here. Come here. No. Step up. Can you step up, please? Can you step up? No. We're just gonna do this. Come here. Step up. Step up. Come here. No. Why are you clinging this way? You're so weird. Why are you so weird? Come here. Up. Up here. Come up here. There we go. Less awkward. Anyway. This is fun filming with a parrot now. You know, Samwise was just off in the corner. We weren't so desperate for attention, but you're a diva. I wanted to change her name to Spensa, by the way, because of her behavior. She is very Spensa bird, but she responds to Mambo, so we're keeping it. Anyway, Well Matched, we're talking about it. So yes, the thing that I don't usually like about age gaps that you see in common media is it is usually a younger woman and a much older man who is kind of grooming and being kind of pedophilic, and it's very unbalanced with this. This is a different way. So we have April, who is the older sister of Emily, who is the character in Well Met. So she is about 10 years older than her sister, so she's nearing 40 or is 40. And then we have Mitch, and Mitch is the gym teacher, and he's in his 30s and stuff, and so there is an age gap there. It's a fake dating trope that just bonds them together, because they both go into it, you know, pretty on the same page, but you know, everybody catches some feelings, and there's a lot of internal turmoil, especially involving the age gap. And so I liked seeing that they were both conscientious of this, and they both had their own inner turmoil in terms of their own self-confidence and who they were and their relationships with other people. And it felt like a very well-crafted storyline and well-crafted characters and a very realistic approach to it, so it wasn't just like how it usually plays out. But I thoroughly enjoy Well Matched and this whole series, and I'm so excited we get a 4th book. I thought it was finished, but it's not. We get another one, which is Well Traveled, that comes out this year, and it's Mitch's cousin Lulu, and I'm very excited because I really liked Lulu and bringing her into the fold, because she's, you know, a strong, independent woman who's got no time for a man, and I'm like, I feel this a lot. So, right? It's good. Good. Question number 3, a new release you haven't read yet but want to read. Now, I have an entire shelf of new releases that is currently double stacked, so I've chosen 2 for this one. We have both The Girl Who Fell Beneath the Sea by Axie O and A Magic Steeped in Poison by Judy I. Lin. These are both absolutely gorgeous books, very similar themes in terms of art, and and also, like, they're both set in Asian cultures, and I fell in love with these on Us cover buys, but I'll tell you what they're about. So let's start with The Girl Who Fell Beneath the Sea. This one is, deadly storms have ravaged Mina's homeland for generations. Her people believe the sea god, once their protector, now curses them. Each year, a beautiful maiden is sacrificed to the sea in the hopes of appeasing him. Many believe that Shimchang, the most beautiful girl in the village and the beloved of Mina's older brother Jun, may be the one to finally end the suffering. But on the night Chung is to be sacrificed, Jun follows her out to sea, knowing that to interfere is a death sentence. To save her brother, Mina throws herself into the water in Chung's stead. Swept away to the spirit realm, Mina seeks out the sea god, only to find him caught in an enchanted sleep. With the help of a mysterious young man and a motley crew of demons and spirits, Mina sets out to wake the sea god and bring an end to the killer storms once and for all. But a human cannot live long in the land of the spirits, and there are those who would do anything to keep the sea god from waking. What are you doing? We have climbed all the way down here. Where are we going? You want the book? You want my book. Okay. So that is The Girl Who Fell Beneath the Sea. I am so excited for this kind of fantasy adventure we've got going on. I'm absolutely in love. You don't have to claw your way back up here, you know. I can help you. Come here, step up. Step up. There you go. See, I can do that for you. Magic steeped in poison. For Ning, the only thing worse than losing her mother is knowing that it's her own fault. She was the one who unknowingly brewed the poison tea that killed her mother, the poison tea that now threatens to also take her sister's Shu. When Ning hears of a competition to find the Great Kingdom's greatest Shenongshi masters of the ancient and magical art of tea making, she travels to the imperial city to compete. The winner will receive a favor from the princess, which may be Ning's only chance to save her sister's life. But between the backstabbing competitors, the bloody court politics, and a mysterious and handsome boy with a shocking secret, Ning might actually be the one in more danger. So I'm really interested in this one because it's more, it seems in the realm of Spin the Dawn, which I absolutely love because it's got that kind of special skill competition going on, and we're sucking on my thumb. Okay, so yeah, very excited about this book. What are we doing? What's our goal? Did you just want to be in front of the camera? Again, look at me, I'm so pretty. Everybody loves me. Yes, I'm a pretty bird. Ooh. Question number 4, most anticipated release for the second half of the year. Now, I have so many. So I really had to like think of what's the one I keep, well, I keep seeing stuff for this right now, but I do have so many new releases coming at the end of the year that it's overwhelming. But the one I'm going to stick to right now is Babel by R.F. Kuang. So this is R.F. Kuang's brand new series or brand new book. It involves language and linguistics and stuff, and it's just epically awesome, and I'm very excited for this. I loved Poppy War, and so this is a little bit, it still has elements of like, well, China in it and stuff, but it's just so interesting, and I can't wait for this book to come out. I really want to pre-order it, but I didn't win it in my Easter egg pre-order, so if anybody wants to pre-order me a copy. I just want to be on the hand now. Normally we're very much on the shoulder, but today is hand. All right, question number 5, the biggest disappointment of the year. Now, I have a couple disappointments that I no longer own. I've already gotten rid of them. So like We Hunt the Flame and The Ivory Key were kind of disappointments to me. It wasn't that they were bad. And the thing about disappointments for me is that it's a matter of how high of a level expectation I gave those books, and so that's why they're not like the biggest disappointment, because I went in kind of not really knowing anything. So my biggest disappointment this year is The Cartographers by Peng Shepherd. Peng Shepherd? I'm so sorry if I pronounced that name wrong. I was really looking forward to this book dealing with cartography and this kind of mystery and stuff, and it still was fine. I just was not engrossed in this at all like I anticipated. I wanted a lot more on the technical side of cartography, and I wasn't really prepared for the magical realism aspect, so that only comes in the end. So it felt a little unbalanced that way, and I wasn't sure about putting that aspect into it. I didn't really like that aspect of it. I thought the reasoning for some of the stuff that happened was kind of dumb. And it's kind of stupid adult problems that are just dumb and people needing to communicate. So I didn't hate the book though, like it was still a really good book, but it was definitely a huge disappointment for me. I still gave it like 3 stars, but I was going in thinking this would be a 5-star read, and it just wasn't. For me, at least. Could be for somebody else. On the opposite end of that spectrum, number 6, The Biggest Surprise. And I have 2 for this one. I went into both of these books with fairly low expectation. Well, not like low, like I think I'm gonna hate this book, but I'm like, these will likely be mediocre reads that I will just be, you know, get in and get done with. But that is The Bone Spindle and The Red Palace by June Her. I went into The Bone Spindle kind of like, this is gonna be just another mediocre YA. I thought that we were gonna have a sapphic romance between these two. We do not. We do have a sapphic romance in here, but it's different, and I liked it much better because I was worried how the tropes, because this is a Sleeping Beauty retelling, and I'm very worried, not worried, but wary of retellings in general and how they're gonna do the twist. So I thought this was going to be predictable, which is why it was kind of lower expectations, but it did surprise me a lot. I really liked the characters in this. I liked the dichotomy of this kind of enemies to friends, and then their subsequent relationships that they have in the book with other people, and the mystery behind it. And I was really pleasantly surprised by The Bone Spindle, a lot more than what I thought it was going to be. I'm very excited for the sequel to come out, which I've forgotten what it is called. Severed Thread? Is that what it is? I think it's The Severed Thread. But that will come out next year? Next year or the end of this year? I forget. I don't have brains. Anyway, then we have The Red Palace by June Her. Now this is a historical mystery, so I went in thinking, okay, this is gonna be a historical mystery. I'm not usually one to read a lot of historical or mystery. But going into this, because it touches on Korean history and a very small little bit of Korean history that not a lot of people know about, and it expands into the fiction realm of things, because basically June Her has pulled a kind of, not a myth, but a very small part of documented history with a crown prince, and expanded on that to be this big mystery thing. And I was totally into this book. I absolutely loved the mystery aspect of it all, and I just was completely blown away and just completely loved this book. Yeah. So I don't know, like historical mystery in other countries, not in America or the UK, maybe in Western countries, I think might be a niche thing that I absolutely gravitate towards, because boy, do I want more of this kind of stuff. You're such a poopy bird. I didn't have this problem with Samwise, but you know, he also just didn't want to be on me. Excuse me. Is it on my shoulder? Is it in my hair? This is the difficulty. The hair is usually up when I have her on my shoulder, but you know, we're filming, right? Number 7, favorite new author. And I mean, I can't really pick one because there were so many new authors that I read this year for myself, and I can't classify them as an auto-buy author, but they're like on deck to become auto-buy authors, because based on the one book I've read of them, I want to read more. So I will go through them fairly quickly because I think I have like 4. I have 3, but technically 4. I actually have a lot more because I can only say each book once. So first off, we're gonna do Shiran J. Zhao for Iron Widow. I really liked her writing. I really liked the twist, especially in this book, threw me totally off guard, and loved this writing. Okay, then we have indies, but actually, so one of them is an indie who is now picked up traditionally, and that is Olivia Atwater for Half a Soul. I'm a little annoyed that it's gone traditional, not for any reason of like, oh, you're sold out or anything, like all power to you. I'm just annoyed that I can't get the other 2 books in the series in this format, because they're all going to come re-released as hardcovers, and I need them to match. So I either need to buy all the new ones as hardcover, or find someone who is selling their paperbacks of it, because you can no longer get it on Amazon. Frustrating. And the last one is by Winged Chair, Kendra Merritt. You can see how much I loved this book. I tabbed it. So this is the first in the Mark of the Least series that she has written, which is fairy tale retellings, but with protagonists who have different disabilities. So our first character here is wheelchair bound, as is the author. So it is an own voices kind of story with the retelling. But I just loved this. I loved the world building. I loved the characters. I loved the romance. I loved the action and adventure. It was just so nice, and I loved it. Question number 8, newest fictional crush. Now, I'm Ace, so I don't necessarily get the fictional crushes, but I do have one that I'm like, if this man existed, yes, I would flirt with him and hope that he would flirt back. But I'm so Ace that whatever. But that is Russell from Weather Girl by Rachel Lynn Solomon. I thought he was just the sweetest male love interest. He's not the protagonist, but he is the male love interest in this, because he is not he's not like other male protagonists. He's a larger man, which you don't see, especially in contemporary romance. You don't see the fatter guys, and I don't personally, based on the cover here, I don't necessarily believe he's that fat of a guy. I think he's probably an average guy, but he is so kind and understanding, and like, our main character has depression and has some confidence issues and stuff, and he takes his time with her when she's not ready for things and checks in with her, and is just overall the sweetest little cinnamon roll that I want to protect and make sure that everything is good and happy for him. He's just such a sweet, sweet guy that deserves the world. And you know, he gets the world in the end, because this is a contemporary romance. But again, another book I have tabbed the crap out of, because I just love a lot of I mostly tab a lot of their cute love scenes, because those are the scenes I like going back to when I'm particularly feeling down, so it brings me up and makes me happy. That's what I usually tab in books, is those happy little scenes. Not necessarily tabbing like literary lines and things. I'm just usually tabbing, this scene made me feel happy, tab this so when I'm feeling sad I can go back. Question number 9, newest favorite character. And this is also a very hard one, because a lot of these books did have my new favorite characters in them, but again, we're not repeating books. We're gonna go with Cyrilda from Gilded by Marissa Meyer. Why is Cyrilda my new favorite character? Because this girl lies out of her ass constantly and gets herself into shenanigans. She's a storyteller. She's a bit of a trickster. She's just so fun to read and watch her try to scramble out of bad situations with the lies that come out of her mouth that then lead to more situations where she has to keep lying and just keep going. And it's like, girl, what are you doing? You lied to the elf king guy, goblin king man. Why? The dark elf, you lied straight to his face, and you thought that would have no repercussions. Okay, girl. It's just hilarious to me. This is a Rumpelstiltskin retelling, by the way. This one, I would say, is also up for Best Book of the Year, but I chose Titanic for right now. But like, these two books are really the books that get free rent right up here. Question number 10, a book that made you cry. Now, I have not cried in my life. I'm just kidding. I cry about you all the time because you're so freaking cute. I'm gonna say this one made me feel like I could cry, but I did not, because I don't necessarily cry. I think I've only cried at one or two books. I think I cried at Only Mostly Devastated and The Chaos of Standing Still. And those were both emotional turmoil, tumultuous times in my life where I was losing someone that I loved, or had just lost somebody that I loved. So that's really, it's got to have good timing, or terrible timing if you think about it, to make me cry. But a book that I got very emotionally invested in is Gallant by V.E. Schwab. This is a lovely, lovely story that has a lot of tragedy in it, and a lot of moments where you're really deeply in the character's emotional psyche that tugged on the heartstrings. So I'm gonna go with Gallant. This one definitely does, and the ending definitely made me very sad for what it was, but it was also very beautiful, so it's V.E. Schwab. Question 11, a book that made you happy. A large amount of the books that I keep have made me happy, but this one probably brought the most smiles to my face while reading it, partially because of secondhand embarrassment. We have Boyfriend Material by Alexis Hall, and I thought this was going to be like a super raunchy book, of enemies to fake dating to lovers kind of situation. It didn't really do that at all. It was just about like them doing their fake dating and developing a really good bond through this and understanding each other, and just all these sweet moments that made me smile. Just sweet, sweet, precious boys taking care of each other, who both have their own issues and acknowledge they have their own issues and go through so much stuff that it's just great. I can't wait for the sequel. The sequel comes out next month, husband material, and I need to read it so bad because I love these characters. I love the little world we're in here. This made me very happy. Question number 12, most beautiful book bought this year. Now I have several beautiful books I bought this year, but this book I definitely bought for the cover alone. That's Daughter of the Moon Goddess. Again, very similar to like Magic Steeped in Tea, which I also bought this year, which could have been this, but I answered it for the other one. And The Girl Who Fell Beneath the Sea. I'm sorry, this trend of these kind of covers, this is what I like. And it's gorgeous. And then you can see the other editions, which are also gorgeous, but I think the original cover it might be my favorite version of the covers in this, but this is an absolutely gorgeous cover. The book itself was a little bit of a disappointment. It was still good. I just expected more from it, and I'm hoping that the sequel will give me more later. Question 13, what books do you need to read by the end of the year? Well, let's just check in with the 22 of 2022. This is the shelf of 22 of 2022. Now, not all of these are those, because some of them are sequels to the books that I've already completed. Ones we definitely need to get to, we've got Dealing with Dragons by Patricia C. Reed, which I think I read as a child. We have Pendragon, Book 1, The Merchant of Death, which Fee put on the 22 of 2022 by DJ McHale. The sequel, I haven't actually read it yet this month, but I'm going to, so there's a sequel. But The Last Namsara by Kristen Ciccarelli. Very Sincerely Yours by Carrie Winfrey. If These Wings Could Fly by Kyrie Macaulay. Burn Our Bodies Down by Rory Power. And Educated by Tara Westover. So those are what is left for me to read on the 22 books of 2022. I think that's everybody. There might be another one on the current TBR, but I'm going to get to it because I'm reading it this year. So, and lastly, question 14, your favorite book to movie adaptation, which I'm also taking as to TV show adaptation. Just favorite book adaptation this year is, of course, to no one's surprise or shock, Heartstopper by Alice Oseman. I'm sorry. When this show came out, I watched it on repeat. Like, I just have it on in the background constantly when I'm at work, when I'm working out here, when I'm cleaning or something. I will just put on Heartstopper because it's a really fast series to get through and it's amazing. It's a delight. I made my mom watch it recently. I just make people watch Heartstopper. So if you haven't watched Heartstopper, go watch it so that if you meet me, because the first thing I'm going to ask you, I'm going to say, hi, I'm Q, have you watched Heartstopper? And if you haven't, we're going to go watch Heartstopper right now. Nothing else can be exchanged until we have achieved this. Then we can continue with, how's the weather? Or, hey, you dropped this. We can continue from there. But no other conversation can happen until Heartstopper has been achieved. Got it? Cool. All right. I also thought right now we might do a little check-in. Should we do a check-in? Because we're halfway through the year, I wanted to check in through my 22 goals of 2022 and just see where we stand. So let me go grab the book. Let's take a look at the 22 goals of 2022 and see where we stand. For the adulting, now I've actually completed a lot of the adulting stuff. The adulting stuff is mostly just research and learning more adult topics like I have on here, like 401k, insurance, mortgages, how those things kind of operate, and just to have a better grasp of it. The only thing I have left is cars, which maybe we'll get to, who knows, but otherwise that's pretty good. Then we have audiobooks, which I have finished recording Search for the Phoenix. I am now editing Search for the Phoenix. I'm editing all of the audio files through all of my ums and messing up of lines. So it is coming. It's just slow because a lot of other things get in the way, and each chapter, it took me about an hour to record each chapter, so then I have to sit there and edit each chapter, which takes several hours to do. And we have bookbinding, learning how to bind books. I've done absolutely nothing with that. Also, same with the Book Nook. Have not done anything with that, so I wanted to build one. But you know, there's still time. Then we have camping. I have not gone camping yet. That's it. Then we have the classics. I have been on top of it for classics. I'm actually currently reading my classic of the month, so the goal was to read a classic book every single month, and I have thus far done that with these 5 books. So we have read A Tale of Two Cities, The Picture of Dorian Gray, Peter Pan, The Great Gatsby, The Haunting of Hill House, and currently reading Alice in Wonderland and Alice Through the Looking Glass. Coding, learning how to code. Haven't done anything. Computer! So I wanted to upgrade my computer. I have only accomplished researching because your girl's broke. And costume making. So I set out to make 4 costumes, technically 4 and a hat. We did complete the Lizzie costume, the Regency cosplay, I'll say. I am currently working on the Danielle, which is going to be my Ren Fair costume, essentially. I'm naming them all that. Because I'm not going to be able to like fully replicate what I've seen in those, but they're all inspired by. I do have my pattern for it now, but I don't have any fabric because a girl broke. Sorry, I did not mean to scare you. The Done Did It jar. I've been filling it. I did lose a little bit of time in filling things out because I started questioning what I've put in it already and what qualifies for the Done Did It jar. You go in the Done Did It jar though, so you're there. Embroidery! We are in progress. I've made 4 bookmarks so far, so I'm a little behind in that. So I'm trying to catch up, but I am in the middle of making one right now. I have what I call, it's exercise classes. I have since changed the goal to just consistent exercise because I find I do not thrive in an exercise class. I did attend them in January, but I have been keeping up with exercising all throughout the year. I'm doing currently a 30-day challenge, 4 different 30-day challenges, so we are doing that. And for those of you who care about the bariatric stuff, I am only 20 pounds away from the year goal, and I'm ahead of the game, so my doctors are very, very proud of me. Finances, we don't need to talk about that. I've already told you, a girl broke. A girl moved, and a girl rescued a parrot. A girl doesn't always make the best financial decisions. Indie 2022! Oh, actually, I haven't filled this one out yet. I can do that now. But I have now completed 6 books. We just finished No More Black Magic, so we did Strange Gods in January, we did Half a Soul in February, Beastly by Jay Noble in March, we did New World Rising by Jennifer Wilson in April, we did Cat Tales, which is an anthology by a lot of them in May, and No More Black Magic by A.L. Kessler this month, so we are on track for that goal. Japan! That's probably not happening. Learning D&D! That's probably not happening. I'm just kidding. I haven't done anything for it, but other people want me to do it, so yeah. Then we have Misha! Misha goal. Misha's complete. I did the Misha goal. Yay! We completed. That's the first goal that's completed. Fully completed. We did it! Yay, pretty bird! Woohoo! Yeah! Monthly writing goals. I've been not as great. I did fail it in January and made up for it in February. I did it in March. I did it in April. I failed it in May. I have since caught up to that. I am behind this month, but I am hoping to catch up. So, with that one. It's so stupid that this is the month, this is the time I'm failing because this is the lowest goal that I have through all 4 quarters. And yet I'm failing at this bad this month. I don't know. Publishing Hispacac is still in editing because a girl broke and needs to finish. I send my editor chapter by chapter, so I've had to wait. I have 2 more chapters to go, but the moving expenses took a lot out of me. So there's that. Renovating my parents' house. We have pretty much finished the Grampus Grotto. Now, so it really depends on my parents and our ability to do the rest of the house. So it's not really a goal that I can accomplish myself, but there's that. Short stories, we have been completing them. That is the only writing. I barely finished doing the short story last month, and I've kind of stopped with the revamp or original just because of the genres. So this month it's a horror. And I'm not good at horror, and I've never written a horror before, so it has to be an original. But I did finish January through May. So we've done our sci-fi, we've done a historical fiction, we've done a high fantasy, we've done a Western urban fantasy, we've done just an urban fantasy, we're doing horror this month. And then I have revamped a little bit about what I'll be doing for the rest of the year because I didn't want to repeat genres. So we are going to be doing some different ones this year. And the last big goal was becoming a Twitch affiliate, which I did in January. We completed that, and I'm over 100 subscribers there, or followers there, which is really nice. Woo! With the mini goals, I did get a new chair. I've gotten new shelves. I did do my con schedule. I've improved my Excel skills. I have not gotten a new camera yet, because a girl broke, or made hardcovers for the Ashport series, or created a new banner for when I go to conventions because a girl broke. There's that. So there's those goals. We've done it. Let me quickly check anybody else. Oh, Tales from the Hinterland is another book for 22 of 2022, but I'm definitely getting that done this month. So there we go. I've also, I don't know if you guys care, but like, so these are all the new releases, and when they're colored in, if they're highlighted around here, that means I bought them. If they're colored in of the month, that means I've read them. If they're highlighted in yellow, that's a pre-order, you know, kind of fun stuff that I do. I've also got books published in 2021. Yep. And then I've got also my series tracker. So this is how I track. Well, I do it on an Excel sheet, but this is how I do it here. So I'm in the middle of so many series. I was thinking to do a video just about series. If you guys would like to see my series progression and stuff, I'll make a video. Otherwise, I won't, because if you don't want to see it, then why would I film it, right? Right. Cool. Okay, so there you go, guys. You have now met a Mambo. We've done the mid-year freakout tag. We've checked in for the year, for the halfway mark. I'm gonna go now. You want to sign us off? You want to tell everybody to like and subscribe and put all their questions and comments down below, or on Facebook, Tumblr, and Twitter. And check us out on Ko-fi if you want to buy the bird some, you know, a snack. You can do that. We love grapes. Grapes are a big hit, so you can buy her grapes on my Ko-fi page. Yeah. We'll put the money for you. Right? You want grapes? Should we get grapes? Or apple? Or broccoli? Or snap peas? We're just not hungry. Okay. You want a Nutriberry. So anyway, you can do that, and I will see you next time, cuties. Bye. Oh, I didn't tag anybody. Do I need to tag anybody? If you want to do the tag, you're tagged. I mean, I can always tag Hala and ruin her life, but there you go, Hala, you're tagged. Who else would do a mid-year freakout tag? To Mama, you read a lot. I'm like, who reads a lot of my friends here? So I'm going to say to Mama and Hala. I think everybody else is more in the writing sphere of things for this tag. So you two are tagged. There you go. You're my default tags for book tags now. So I hope you enjoy that. Bye bye. Bye bye. Pretty bird. Pretty bird. Pretty bird. Yay. Pretty bird. Want to say bye? Bye bye. Okay. Cuties. Did you just poop right on my thing? You did. Well, at least you didn't poop on me. But normally the issue with that for me is because usually it's the girl who is, where are you going? You're pooping on me though, that's for sure. Beautiful oh, blah, blah, blah. I don't know when the camera stopped filming. Ayo, 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 ayo. Okay.